The Big Bang Theory Season 3 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Big Bang Theory, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be The Big Bang Theory Season 3, Episode 16. The title of this episode is called The Excelsior Acquisition. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. We start off with Raj entering the comic book store to Darth Vader's theme. Or the Empire's theme, maybe. Stewart tells the guys that Stanley is going to be doing a meet and greet at the comic book store. And Penny doesn't really know who Stanley is. And, well, she pretends she does, but she doesn't. Howard finds that Sheldon has a traffic ticket from driving Penny to the hospital when she fell in the shower. The date is when Stan Lee will be at the comic book store. So Sheldon goes to court. Penny goes with him. Sheldon insults the judge when he mentions that he's at the kiddie table of his profession, so he gets put in jail until he apologizes. Penny calls Leonard to let him know the news as they are standing in line to meet Stan Lee. And Howard predicted that Sheldon would end up in jail. Sheldon is just so predictable. And Raj mentions that. Sheldon makes sure he sits in the right spot on the right side in the bench inside the holding cell. And then he asks to use the bathroom. And he's told, knock yourself out. And the guy points at the toilet that's in the cell. And Sheldon is appalled by that. And he says, let me speak to the judge now. I'm ready to apologize. And then the guys poke fun at Sheldon for not being able to meet Stan Lee. Sheldon gets so mad about this, and he says, Penny, you caused all this. You're the blame. And he storms off to his room and, makes her feel pretty, bad and upset. So Penny visits Stewart at the comic book store and eventually gets Stewart to tell her Stan Lee's address. He doesn't know his phone number, but he does have an address. And Stewart, because he just can't resist Penny, gives that information out. So Penny is able to take Sheldon to Stan Lee's house. Stan Lee calls them fanboys and says they think they can just do whatever they want. Sarcastically, he says, why don't you just come in and watch the Lakers game? And Sheldon mentions that he's not the biggest sports fan, but okay. And Sheldon just walks right into Stan Lee's house and does whatever he does in there. And Penny tells Stan Lee that he doesn't understand sarcasm, and then Stan Lee shouts to somebody in the house, probably his wife, that to call the police. So Sheldon comes back home and brags that he got an autograph restraining order from Stan Lee, which is pretty hilarious, and that's the stuff that ends the episode. So yeah, it was good. I felt parts of it were a little rushed. They could have, took longer to get to a certain point in this episode, but it certainly was entertaining that Sheldon didn't want to pay a ticket and that he'd rather sit in a holding cell and possibly have to pee in front of people, which is not something he definitely wants to do, let alone share a bathroom with somebody that's not on a timely schedule, because he's got to have the bathroom schedule. So I'm going to give this episode an 8.8 out of 10. The character of the episode is, no surprise, Sheldon. It's either Leonard, Penny, or Sheldon. It's very, very slim when it's Raj, Howard, Bernadette, when we get to Amy. And then as far as, well, the reason why I started watching this show is because I saw Penny on screen. I'm like, wow, she is just, wow. So I tend to rate her hotness scale in each episode. In this particular episode, I'm going to give her a 9.0 out of 10. It's something I do. I'm not trying to be like a male chauvinistic pig. I'm just pointing out something that I liked about the show, and it gives me something else to rate. And Penny is awesome. Kaylee Cuoco is simply awesome. So 8.8 out of 10, Sheldon. And then Penny is a 9 out of 10. And she could have easily been a 10 out of 10. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, Dexter, Dexter New Blood, The Walking Dead, Ozark, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Better Call Saul, or like live UFC fight reactions, and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, make sure you smash that like button. I'll wait. Don't forget to share the video with whomever you want, or put it on your social media platforms if you decide that's what you want to do. Please make sure you sound off in the comments section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Big Bang Theory. What would you score it? And who would you give your character of the episode to? If you want to rate Penny, that's fine. And if you have a favorite moment of the episode, that's fine. When I say spoilers for Big Bang Theory, I should be, and to avoid any potential spoilers of really funny moments that will happen. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support to be a part of something special, and JDev will return.